The hate that divided the Adeyemi family wasn't born with the brothers. It was an inheritance, passed down like a cursed heirloom. Decades ago, in the town of Ilesa, the Adeyemi name carried weight. Their grandfather, Pa Adeyemi, was a wealthy cocoa merchant, a man whose pride was as vast as his fortune. But his greed became a wedge, splitting his family like a cracked calabash. His two sons, Taiwo and Kahinde, found themselves locked in a bitter rivalry over everything: land, inheritance, and the right to possess the family's golden staff, a sacred heirloom said to bring prosperity only to one with a pure heart. Their endless battles cast a long shadow, and by the time the next generation arrived, the curse of that quarrel had settled like a fine layer of dust on their lives. Femi, Taiwo's son, was the elder. He was calm, intelligent, a man who respected tradition and followed the rules. His younger brother, Tola, was his opposite, fiery, ambitious, and perpetually tired of living in Femi's shadow. They grew up in the same compound, breathing the same air, but their hearts beat to different drums. The death of their father only widened the chasm between them. At the burial, as tradition dictated, the family elders passed the golden staff to Femi, the firstborn son. Tola said nothing, but the bitterness in his eyes was a language everyone understood. From that day on, he became a ghost in their family home. He packed his ambitions and moved to the bustling city of Lagos, built his own business, and cut ties with his brother, leaving years of silence in his wake. Then, one dry Harmattan morning, the silence was shattered by a frantic phone call. It was their aunt, her voice trembling with panic. "The staff is gone," she cried. "The heirloom, Femi, it's missing from the shrine." A storm of fury and confusion brewed in Femia's chest as he drove straight to the village. When he arrived, he found Tola already there, standing in the courtyard with his arms defiantly crossed. Before Femi could even utter a word, Tola's voice cut through the tense air. "Don't look at me like that," he said, his tone sharp. "You think I stole it?" Femi's jaw tightened. "If the shoe fits," he replied, his voice laced with suspicion. Tola let out a bitter scoff. "Ah, of course, because Big Brother Femi is always the righteous one. You've always thought I was the problem, haven't you?" The argument erupted, boiling over like a pot left unattended on a fire. Old wounds were torn open, and accusations flew like poisoned darts. The family elders, wise and weary, tried to mediate, but the brothers were deaf to their pleas. They walked away from each other in anger, each one thoroughly convinced of the other's guilt. That night, a powerful storm swept through Ilesa, its thunder echoing the turmoil in Femi's heart. He sat alone, staring at the empty space in the shrine where the staff should have been. As lightning flashed, something caught his eye. Muddy footprints, leading from the shrine's doorway toward the back of the family compound. His curiosity piqued, he followed them cautiously under the moonlight. The trail ended at the old, dilapidated cocoa shed, and there, tucked beneath a broken stool and wrapped in a tattered cloth, was the golden staff. The thief wasn't Tola. The following morning, the elders confronted Baba Kunle, their late father's old steward. The elderly man confessed, tears streaming down his weathered face. "I wanted to protect it," he whispered, his voice cracking with emotion. "Your fathers fought over this thing. I watched it tear them apart. I feared you two would do the same." A heavy silence descended upon the room. Femi and Tola both stared at the golden staff lying on the mat between them. For the first time in years, they didn't see an object of wealth or a symbol of power. They saw the wreckage of pride, a destructive legacy passed from one generation to the next. Tola was the first to break the silence, his voice low and heavy with realization. "Maybe it's not the staff that's cursed," he said, looking at his brother. "Maybe it's us." Femi nodded slowly, a profound understanding dawning in his eyes. "Then maybe," he replied, his voice firm, "it's time we end it." He picked up the staff, its cool metal a stark contrast to the warmth of his decision. He held it out and placed it gently in Tola's hands. "You keep it. Maybe it's your turn to lead." Tola looked down at the staff, then back at his brother, stunned. He searched Femi's eyes for any hint of superiority or resentment, but found only peace. A small, faint smile touched Tola's lips as he gently pushed the staff back toward Femi. "Let's keep it together," he said softly, "for once." That day, the Adeyemi family gathered under the shade of the old mango tree. The brothers stood side by side, both of their hands holding the golden staff. The air around them felt lighter, as if a great invisible burden had finally been lifted from their shoulders. In the years that followed, when the people of Elesa told the story, they said it wasn't the golden staff that held the family's fortune, it was the forgiveness that had finally found a home in two hardened hearts. The staff still sits in the shrine today, untouched. Its gold has faded with age, but its true power, they say, is stronger than ever, because now it belongs to both of them. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If this story touched your heart, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more tales that explore the depths of human connection.